She assumed the helm of Mega Prime Foods, the company behind the Philippines' #1 sardines brand, Mega Sardines, and celebrated 50 mega years. Focused on innovation and sustainability, now president and CEO, she aims to position Mega Prime Foods in advancing food security in the Philippines. Please welcome Michelle Tu Lim-Chan. Good to have you with us,
Hi,
Michelle, and
Cathy.
congratulations on 50 years.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
That seemed like a long time in coming, but I know I talked to Dad in 2018,
Yes,
and now you're at the helm.
yes.
So that's a lot of milestones to take in. 50 years, and you at the helm for the last 2 to 3 years.
Actually, this year is a very good milestone for us because we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. So that's 5 decades of serving Filipino food with quality. So we started, my parents started as a fishing company. So it's a humble beginning. So we just have one fishing vessel at that time. But now, fast forward 50 years, we are the #1 sardines brand in the market. So we're known for our quality, innovation, and also our commitment to nourishing Filipino families.
Now, what was the transition like? Because in 2018, when I visited your Quezon City headquarters, it was Dad. Dad ate it, helming
So-
up the whole company, and right now he's passed it on to you.
Yeah, actually, I've been working with him for 26 years, and I know his values. I know how he does things, and he taught me a lot. He is my mentor. So when he passed on the company to me, I promised him. I said, Dad, I promise I will continue to take care of what you have built. So that's where we are now.
What do you like most about what he built?
Actually, he really showed me that integrity is one of the most important things in business. But his love for for the people, the malasakit that he shows for the people is I think what really truly shows, and that's what brought our company to this level.
And to think you took on the helm at the height of the pandemic, or at least what we know of the post-pandemic scenario, and food was really important.
Yes. So I took it on 2023, just when we launched our Mega Batangas plant. So this is the first plant that we have in Luzon. So yeah.
Yeah, you know, I was looking back at that interview in 2018, and he made a mention of the importance of innovation, that he wanted something state-of-the-art, something that would make business cost-efficient. How does this all align then with the Batangas plant?
So there's a lot of new developments. We have the very first filling machine. It's an automatic filling machine, and the sardines are being filled in the cans without any human intervention. So it's automatic. It's the first in the Philippines. So that's the newest innovation that we have. But aside from that, we have a lot of sustainability issues. Like we have solar panels. We have a lot of new programs that we are implementing, especially with the battery systems.
So this is it. This is what he was talking about when he mentioned renewable energy, using solar,
Yes.
or even sea current. Did
Yes,
we ever get to sea current?
We are actually talking with a lot of people, especially in Europe, about the sea current because we have a lot of currents in Zamboanga especially. But that hasn't panned out yet.
Not yet, but with you at the helm, is that something that you're pushing forward
We
and
are.
you believe in?
Yeah, we are in talks with them, but it is a European technology. So it's a little bit more expensive than solar as of this time. So we're focusing more on the solar energy.
Talk to us about the filling machine. Very important that you say it's no longer handled by humans.
Yes.
This is all automated. How has that impacted the workforce and the upskilling that you've had to do before you introduced it?
So in Batangas, the workforce is a little bit harder to get because it's a different kind of culture. So what we did is we had a filling machine where we didn't need a lot of people to fill. So no humans. We just fill in the fish and it automatically weighs it one by one and fills it in a can. And when it goes out, it's already in the can. I think in the fishing process and canned sardines process, that's the most important one. So
Is it the one that costs a lot then?
it costs a lot because you need a lot of people to fill it. But now we don't depend on a lot of humans because it's really hard if they get tired. It's harder for them to fill it, and it's very, oh, how do I call it? It's one thing that we cannot control because humans are humans. So at
They
least if
are.
we have this machine, it just does it 24/7. They don't complain and everything. So it's
Right,
good.
but then you make a mention of the local culture, and it
Mm.
interests me. What kind of culture is it that makes Batangueños
Actually,
different?
they're very good. Batangueños are very good. They have good work ethics, but because the industry is beside it are all technology, they're used to having good working like aircon, and then doing the microchips. But if you're in a food business and food manufacturing, it's usually hot and not very cold. So it's different work environment.
But what has it meant for jobs for the province, though? Is it a net gain
Yes.
introducing that plant?
Yeah, actually, it is a net gain. We still have a lot of people. We have the other departments is still there, and we have a new factory for Jim's Coffee because we bought Jim's Coffee last year. So we are manufacturing and packing Jim's Coffee as well.
My kids were just talking about Jim's Coffee last night, and I said, I'm going to talk to the owner. Now, I wanted to know then, where does coffee align with sardines making? How did that come to be?
Because actually coffee is also a staple beverage for Filipinos. So when we looked at the distribution model of the previous owner, it's not there. So when we looked at the total business, we saw that there is a synergy and potential for us to grow the business. And this coffee, Jim's Coffee, is a Filipino brand. So that's why we love it. We want to show the Filipinos that the Filipino brand can be sellable in the Philippine market because the other coffee are not Filipino brands. They're from Indonesia, from Sweden, but Jim's Coffee is a 100% fully owned Filipino. And we want to give Filipinos a better coffee because Jim's Coffee has Korean ginseng. So this ginseng keeps your energy level up, keeps your memory good, and keeps your immunity high. So that's why we want the Filipinos to know this because we want the Filipinos to be healthy.
How does it all come together, though, between sardines and coffee? Not top of mind, though, that you'd want sardines and coffee together. Perhaps maybe on a pandesal. But
Yeah.
what's the strategy going
So
forward?
when you look at the total Philippines, the distribution model for sardines and coffee is the same. It's the sari-sari stores where we distribute a lot of our products. That's why we felt that if we intensify our distribution, the Filipinos can reach more of Jim's Coffee than now.
But the market of Jim's Coffee, though, I mean, what's the demographic there? Because right now I'm finding it in malls,
Mhm.
and in upscale malls.
Yes. Actually, the modern trade, that's the market now. We want to bring it down to the level, to the grassroots, to the distribution level, so more Filipinos can reach it. Because if it's just in the malls, not a lot of people go to the malls. 60% of Filipinos shop in sari-sari stores. So you want to have it available there so they can reach it and they can use it.
So
yeah.
you've got a timeline for that, bringing that from malls to sari-sari stores?
Well, we have been doing it. We are almost 70% there. We are launching our new commercial with our new endorser, which is Coco Martin. So, yeah.
So you've got sardines and then now coffee. How does that all come together when we talk food security? Because we're talking basic commodities here,
Yeah.
and something that you wanted to distribute nationwide.
Yes. So sardines is a staple food of the Philippines. So we supply the whole 100% of the Philippines for our sardines. And remember, it's one of the most cheapest source of protein and the healthiest of all the food. So that's why for us, if we continue to produce sardines, it will contribute to the food security of the Philippines. For coffee is a little bit different because it's more of a preference. So I'm not sure if we can contribute food security with our Jim's Coffee for now. But yeah, but sardines is really the one that we give to the Filipino people for our food security.
Let me pick up on healthy, though. I know that you've been awarded as a superfood.
Yes.
What did it take to get there? Did you need to do something with how you fish and produce the
Mhm.
sardines before you put them in the can?
Just this year, we are recognized by the MWA, Medical Wellness Association of the United States, as the world's first and only seafood superfood. So, what it means was they looked at our process. They saw that how we do our canning and how we do our fishing and then the canning, and they saw the process that there's no preservatives, and it's very the sardines itself is kept very fresh, and the omega 3 is very potent. So those, and it's also backed up by Harvard study that sardines is the healthiest and the most nutrient dense food that you can eat. So that's why they with the stringent documentations and analysis of the process, they awarded it to us, and we're the only ones.
This health angle to sardines, did that improve because of technology, or has it already been as healthful previous to the innovations you've introduced?
So there is the reason why we are the only ones awarded is because our process is very unique. We take care of the fish from the start. That means the potency of omega 3 is still there, even if it's in the can. It has always been there because, remember, my father, he is really strict with quality and really strict with all the processes. That's why we know that it's there, and the Filipino people are really lucky to have it. But now the Medical Wellness Association recognized this. So now we can tell the world that, hey, this is not just for Filipinos. Everybody can eat this because this is a superfood. You have a superfood that you can eat that will keep you healthy.
So is that the reason why you're going to the export markets now?
Yes. Actually, we've been exporting for 25 years. But our target are really Filipinos, OFWs. But this certification gives us a chance to give it to the mainstream market, telling the world that, hey, the Philippines has mega sardines. You can purchase it and you can eat it and be healthy. So that's what we are trying to do now.
What has it meant for costs? Presumably the investment that's come into the innovation that you've introduced must have cost a lot of money.
For the machineries,
front-loaded.
Yeah, for the machineries, we've already put it in our capex long before, but the biggest investment was really our Batangas plant. So prior to the modernization, the Batangas plant really gives us a competitive advantage over the others because we have a very good research and development lab there. So we established that to make sure that we come up with future products that is viable for the local market as well as the export market.
So how do you price sardines right now, given the investment you've made and the kind of inflation or the lack thereof we have?
We are actually working closely with DTI. We don't price our sardines very high. One can is around 25 pesos. And for us, we want to help the Filipino people. If we can get the additional cost, we can absorb it, we will do it. So that's our help for the Filipinos.
But the Canned Sardines Association of the Philippines recently wanted to increase by 3 pesos per can. What's happened to that suggestion?
So there are a lot of things why they wanted to do that because of the increasing cost. But for us, we want to really help the Filipino people. So we decided and we have agreed with the DTI not to increase our prices as of now.
As of now.
As of now.
So you're willing to absorb the costs?
Yes.
Does that lower your...
We have been doing that for a long time.
Does that lower your margins?
Yes, it does. But it's okay because we know that the Filipinos it's very hard for Filipinos now. So we want to help them.
Where do you make up for it though? If the margins are shrinking, where do you make up for
we have a lot
the
of
margin?
Yeah, cost effectiveness. So volume is one. We have innovations. We have a lot of new businesses and new categories that we go into. So yeah.
And this is happening at a time inflation is at record lows that we hadn't seen since November 2019. I was looking back at 2018 when I interviewed your dad, and inflation was way high. That's why he had to increase prices between 3 and 5%. What sort of an inflation picture do you now see moving forward with rates coming off, and how it impacts the cost of making sardines?
Yes. Actually, we're happy that inflation is stable. But I think it just depends on what cost structure you have. For us, we highly depend on diesel. Diesel is one of our biggest expense because of fishing. So if diesel increases, the cost increases a lot. So it's different with the inflation that is in the market. But I hope that inflation will keep low because Filipino people really need this. They need to have excess funds to give them good livelihood and good life.
So when fuel prices go up, as it did during the Middle East escalation, what happened then in the way you decided on canned sardines prices?
We have to absorb everything. We cannot just increase our prices. That's not how we do it. We absorb it as long as we can.
And then the following week, fuel prices went down.
Yes.
So it's a matter of having just waited it out.
Yeah.
Tin sheets are also a key component.
Yes.
Because you pack your sardines in tin cans. How much of a cost is this, and a worry that it might shrink your margins further?
Actually, from buying tin sheets or from buying the cans from local manufacturers, we now manufacture our own cans. So this actually decreased our cost a lot because we pass on all of the savings to the can, to the final product. So it helped us a lot. When tin sheets increase, we have to absorb it, but sometimes tin sheets decrease also. So we work closely with our suppliers, especially in our China suppliers, because they help us a lot with all this pricing and the hedging.
How's that working out right now with foreign suppliers, given what's going on with the global policy uncertainty, the Trump tariffs, the to and fro that we've seen throughout this year? What are discussions like with suppliers these days?
We are not highly dependent on the US, so we're not really affected by the tariffs for the US. So there's not much effect as of now.
And there is no intention to export to the Filipino migrants in the US?
We have a little bit of export, but not a lot.
And what do you intend to do with that, though? Are you intending to keep it that way, or maybe even lessen it because of the cost
Actually,
that it might entail?
The other way around. We're actually planning to go big in the US market. 20% tariff now. I think we just have to input it in the cost. The reason why I said we want to go big, because US is a mainstream market. It's a very good market for mega sardines superfood. So because people in the US they're more health conscious, they want to have good, healthy food. So hopefully, when we do our launch in the US market, it will be one of the good things that can happen to the Filipino sardines.
Well, this news just out a couple of hours ago, 20%, waking up to that and realizing that the tariffs have gone higher by 3%. We were originally just dealt with 17%. So what was it like waking up to that and speaking with your brothers who work with the company as well?
Well, as of now, our export target is only around 10% of our domestic. So it's not that big. 3% increase is still tolerable for us because the volume is not that big. But maybe eventually in the future, when we have bigger volumes in the US, we would have to think about ways to make sure that it will not affect us so much.
So was it a scramble when you woke up and you had to kind of like call your brothers and have a bit of a discussion what to do?
No, as I mentioned, the US is not a big market for us. So it's really does not affect us so much now.
But your intention is to go big.
Yes,
and that's a contrarian view. So
Yeah.
what sort of metrics do you have then in raising the number and then turning that into a key export market?
So it will take a while. It will not be built overnight. The US market is big, but it's very hard to market something that you need to teach people how to do it. So it will take a while. I'm thinking maybe in the 5-year horizon, we will be present in the mainstream market in the US. We will be going to trade shows in the US next year. So that's where we want to focus.
And in those 5 years, are you also diversifying? Because I've read up that you're looking towards Europe,
Yeah.
maybe even United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
How do you decide where to go next?
We just plan it based on what we have now. We export a lot to the United Arab Emirates, and we export quite a few also to the European market. But remember, we're just targeting the Filipino OFWs. But the next step will be targeting the mainstream market, the Caucasians, the Europeans, the Arabs. So we're planning on a lot of steps on how to do it. Excuse me. Um, but our marketing team and our sales team will be on the ground to help us promote and make sure that we get the right distributors for it.
What about research and development, though, in trying to preserve the Pinoy taste?
Mhm.
Because that's important. You'd want your branding to remain, but also relate with the foreign market.
Yes.
What is your understanding of what the foreign palate would appreciate?
So the Filipino market, the sardines is very staple. So they like it in tomato sauce with chili. But in the export market, they like it in oil and also in water. So that's what we're trying to develop now. We make sure that we match what their cultural preferences are, because not all of them like sardines in tomato sauce. I think only Filipinos like it. In some
We're
Southeast
special.
Asian
Right.
countries, yeah.
We like it that saucy and
Yes,
rich.
yes.
What
Mm.
about the Muslim market? Have you considered this in your expansion overseas?
Yeah, we sell a lot of sardines to our Muslim brothers because we have halal. So all our sardines have halal. Remember, our plant is in Zamboanga, where there's a lot of Muslims. So yeah.
And how does that affect how they fish? Is that something that's already inputted? It's your first plant. So how has that innovated or maybe evolved with more focus right now and being inclusive in the way you produce your sardines?
Yeah, we've always been inclusive. Like if in Zamboanga, there's a lot of cultural differences and uh, what do you call this? Ano ba yung, religion differences. But they've always been included in our structure and our workforce. So, and also our people now, especially in our head office, we're very inclusive. So everybody can speak up. Everybody can say what they want and give us all their thoughts. So yeah.
What was that one thought that you picked up on and said, that's a great idea? Somebody just speaking up.
A lot of them, especially the young ones, the Gen Zs, they're good in AI. They give us very good information just picking up from ChatGPT. So there's a lot of information from them. So that's why I really like working with the young people, because they're very agile. They're quick in thinking, and they have ChatGPT. That's their secret.
ChatGPT then.
Yeah.
What sort of a result did you get that you're now employing or
There's a lot.
implementing in the way you work?
There's a lot. Actually, for our digital transformation, that's one of our key things that we're trying to develop to make sure that we will be competitive advantage down the road. So we started our mega business systems 3 years ago, and now we're really building the foundation and the structure on top of it with AI.
So how does that work with legacy systems? You've been in the business 50 years, so there's a lot of old technology that now has to be bolted in with AI, digital transformation. How's it working out for you? When you say business transformation, it seems such a big word.
We have been transforming for a long time. Since I came in, I established the systems and controls and the procedure. So it's all built in digitally. So we just enhance it and upgrade it. And now with this mega business systems, we can put in all of the external apps to it and create the data and give us all insights. So a lot of new technology makes it very easy for us to get all the data. So that's what we're doing now, and intensifying the mega business systems.
Kind of data then do you pull in from the bolting in of the plug and play systems now that you're building on top of the legacy
Yes.
system?
So there are a lot of things. One, for example, in marketing, we get the Nielsen data, and the raw file will be inputted in, and then the system will churn it and give us insights on what Mega Sardines is, where should we play, where should we improve. Those are the things that gives us um, more information for better decision making. So a lot of things, as I've told my people, I said, AI is not just for leaders, it's for everyone. So I encourage everyone to use ChatGPT in all their work because it's very, very useful. It's very powerful.
Has it taken away jobs?
No, no, it hasn't. It just makes them more efficient.
Did you need to upskill?
Yes, we have. We need to. We have to do some trainings. We have to do a lot of things. But remember, you cannot use AI if you don't have the data. So we are lucky that we have done our transformation very early. We have all the digital data. We just need to input the AI to make sure that all the insights are there and all the data can be, processed.
What's one insight that you came away with, reason why you got into the zero waste program? And also Ocean Project,
So
the mega cleanup.
the zero waste is when you process sardines from the whole size of the whole sardines, the head and tail, we use it for fish meal, and the sardines we use it for the canned sardines. So there's no waste at all when you process sardines. And for the sustainability for the solar, for all our manufacturing plants now are equipped with solar. So we use it for our solar energy. And even our boats that we used diesel before, now we use solar to keep them running in the daytime. So for our Mega Ocean Cleanup, actually, that's one of the key initiative that we're partnering with a lot of other organizations to help us with it. So Mega Ocean Cleanup is when our boats go out to the sea, we will bring back the fish. But on the way back, we have nets that carries all of the trash from the sea back to the port, and then we recycle. So that's our part in sharing and making sure that our environment is kept clean.
That's interesting. I mean, do you use the same nets and they don't catch maybe the big shark or
No, we use a different.
unintended?
It's a different
Yeah.
kind of net. It's called a bat wing.
Mhm.
So we put it out when we are transversing from the fishing ground to the port. So that's why we get all of the trash around it to make sure that it's clean, because nobody takes care of the ocean. They just throw it away and then they don't get it. And when I went there one day, there's a lot of things floating on the sea. I said, how come nobody is helping clean it out? So that's why the Mega Ocean Cleanup came about.
Well, you can't go it alone. So you must have or are reaching out to partners,
Yes.
partners who believe in sustainability.
Yes.
What kind of partners have you come up with?
So
And what
we're-
are they doing to scale up
So
your
we're in
initiatives?
close coordination with ECCP, the European Chamber, and they're helping us with partnerships with the other European companies, because in Europe, this is very important. So, yeah.
The IPO is quite an interesting development. After 50 years, you're thinking about listing at the Philippine Stock Exchange. But that requires planning.
Yes.
So what are you now doing to make sure that you're well prepared and that when you come to the market, investors are going to resonate with what you have?
Okay, so we've been planning for a while. We are progressing. We're talking to a lot of bankers, and we are setting up our standards for us to be able to become IPO able. It just depends on the market, when we will launch it. But again, I think God will tell us the right time.
So God's your crystal ball. He's
Yes.
going to.
He has always been and will be our crystal ball.
But what would you need to see though? Well, if God would deliver a market that was, more stable than it is, as it's been really volatile, what would you need to see to make sure this is the right time? Let's go to the market.
First is the growth. We have to make sure that our growth is stable. We want to make sure that our products will be there for the long term. Second is we need transparency. I need the systems to tell us all of the important information, and the governance is there, documentation, requirements, and everything. So that's really what is very important. And the third is actually legacy. So we want our parents' legacy to remain and to become long term, and in the generations to come to still be there.
What's specific to the legacy are you wanting to bring in as a public company, publicly listed company?
We want to share our malasakit to the people, and we want to share the blessings that God has given us. So this is one way of giving back also to the people, so that they can be part of our family as well.
Well, one of the unique things that they'll probably figure out if and when they see your prospectus is that you've got a chief spiritual officer.
Yes.
Not very often we find one, but why is there one?
We've always been God-centered. We have very strong faith in God, just because maybe we were brought up to be that way. But God has given us a lot of blessings, and we want to give back. And my brother is a pastor, and he really believes that we can instill God-centeredness in all our employees. So this value is the one that keeps us strong despite problems. So God is always there for us.
And your second amongst the siblings are all boys, gentlemen, and one of them, Marvin, your youngest, is the other more vocal in the company. How do you keep it together as a family and thinking about being publicly listed? Do you have any vision of what you'd like to probably keep and what you would have to let go of in order to deserve to be a public company?
Yeah, so we're very unique because my brothers, we all have different interests. So together we are stronger. So we one is an engineer, one is a pastor, and one, Marvin, as you said, is someone who is very good in sales and marketing. So as a group, it's our competitive advantage. When we go IPO, we have a family business council that decided if we are going to do it or not. So that council is the one that guides us on all the things that we need to let go, or all the things that we need to keep. So yeah, we do it together.
What do you think is the first thing that you'd have to let go of?
I don't think there's one big thing that we need to let go, because when we go IPO, it's our responsibility to our shareholders, just as it is now, that we will keep the company growing and keep the company with good profits. So that's our stewardship. So I think it's going to be the same.
Do you see a lot of stewardship in the way that you're running the company because you're a woman? Does that ever come to mind? That you're reminded you're the only girl in the family, and dad's giving you the reins?
No, actually, I've been here for a long time. I had to work for it. I built the Sardines distribution and sales from ground up. So I know the system because I built the system. I know the ins and outs. So I think I can deliver this company to faster growth in the future.
But that's just one part of you, Michelle, because you're also a mom, and the kids are growing up.
Yes.
How do you manage to balance, if you will, if there ever is such a thing as balance with a working person? But what to you is it in the age of AI, digitalization, when we can be present anytime, anywhere through a mobile phone?
So first, Cathy, there's no such thing as work-life balance. There's none. I am a workaholic. And my husband knows that. But I'm really lucky to have a husband who really takes care of the things that I cannot take care because I'm so busy at work. I think that's the secret. Second, my kids are very good. Thank God, they're God-centered, and they grew up with good values as well. But when regards to AI, my eldest, who just graduated, he is the expert on AI. He's 21, and he's really the expert. So in our meetings, he will sit beside me, and he has this iPad here. And then when we were discussing, he will just show me iPad, ma, look at this. These are the things. So it's really there. The information is so rich and it's very easy. So yeah,
And
that's
the data doesn't hallucinate. You haven't encountered that
We
yet.
have to make sure that the data doesn't hallucinate. But it's really, really good to have people like this who are very creative and very, they know where to get the data.
And you're involving your kids already. You're letting them sit in board meetings. So that's a start. I mean, where is that going then? I mean, what are your plans
That's
for them?
what my dad did to us before. When we were young, we were going to the office every day, just sit down beside them. So that's what we're doing to my kids and my pamangkins, because we want them to see how it is working. But my son just graduated. But he will be going to China to study some Chinese language, and then maybe when he comes back.
So it's always a choice. Is that
Yes.
right? Well, what's your standing commitment to the kids then?
No commitment. Well, they can do whatever they want. If they're interested to work in a company, then you have to make sure that you have the skills to be in the company. It's not because you are my son you will be entitled to it. Just like I did before.
Just to those who are listening and watching right now who'd want to go your path, somebody who's grown in a family business, now running the shop, and you're a woman, what would you advise them?
For me, listen to your parents. Even now, my dad is my mentor. I ask him a lot of things, and he helped me with a lot of things as well. So I think their wisdom and their experience cannot be replaced by anything else, not even AI.
Now, how's Dad?
That's very good. That's very good. And
He's all of 75.
he's 75, and he still goes around. He helps me with a lot of things. We just went to the Batangas plant yesterday. So
Does he meddle in how you decide, or do you come to him for advice? How does it work out? What's the dynamic right now that you're the boss?
no, he doesn't meddle on the things because he just goes to the office like a doctor 2 times a week, and there's a schedule. But for me, I go to him for advice, and I ask him, what do you think of this project? What are the things? But he doesn't tell me, no, don't do that and stuff. So no,
What's
he trusts us.
the best recent advice that he gave?
Um, I cannot think of it right now. But I think the advice that he always tells me is you have to be fair to everyone. Your integrity is very, very important. You have to be fair. It's a win-win situation, especially when dealing with suppliers. It's always win-win.
Just very curious, what's daily fare like? I mean, you own a sardines company. How does that play into your food table, if you will?
We also have, aside from mega sardines, we have mega tuna, we have mega mackerel, we have mega squid, we have prime fruit cocktail, prime nata de coco. So we have a lot of items, but we eat a lot of tuna, mega tuna.
So
In our
that's the
table.
staple. The
Yeah,
mega tuna is a
yeah.
staple, and the rest are every now and then.
Yes, for recipes like mega corn. Yeah, we cook corn and spam. My kids are like that.
Well, all the best then. The
Yeah.
IPO is still a few years out, but you never know if and when the market improves.
Yes, and also, I just want to plug that we have the Mega Millionario right now. So this Mega Millionario is in celebration for our 50th anniversary. So we're giving away 50 million pesos to all of the Filipino people. So they just have to buy a can, special can, and when they open it, there's a code. And when they input the code in Messenger, they can get GCash 25, 100 pesos, 500 pesos. And monthly, we will have a draw for 1 million pesos and a car. So this is our way of giving back to the Filipino people. I know a lot of people feel that they're poor, but now at least when they have this chance, they can get something. Right?
All right. Well, all the best, Michelle,
Yes,
on the road
thank
to
you.
the IPO. Appreciate it.
Thank
Say hi to
you.
Dad.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Stream all episodes of Thought Leaders with Cathy Yang on Spotify and on One News PH YouTube channel. Now, if you haven't done so, like or follow my social media pages. I'm Cathy Yang. This is Thought Leaders.